has been the strangest day, you guys. Like, it has been just like messages coming out of everywhere, every which direction, strange things happening. Like, I was trying to actually listen to one of my coaches this morning, and I kept getting interrupted and it wouldn't work, and like I couldn't get online. And then YouTube started playing on my phone. And hey guys, I see some people saying yes, I'm live, and hello, hey Johnny, hi Brandy. And so I know a couple of you guys have commented on my stuff today, and because Johnny was like, oh my god, your guides are like just, I'm like, I'm dumping stuff every 5 minutes because they're just like, so much is coming through today. So I have to backtrack. So this morning I got up, and there's this message that I keep getting over and over, right? And this song, it just randomly, like, I think I put this on Patreon a few weeks ago. This song from U2, which I don't even have on my phone. Like, I have no idea how that started playing on my phone. I don't even know if I have any U2 albums. Like, I may have back in the day, but like, I don't even know how it would play on my phone. And on top of that, when I tried to turn it off, I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. And so when I went to music, it said you're offline, turn off airplane mode or connect to Wi-Fi. I was not on airplane mode, and I was connected to Wi-Fi. So, oh shoot, and now I've got low battery. Okay, you guys, I'm telling you, the craziest day ever. So, can you guys still hear me if I take out the headset and put on... Can you guys still hear me? Can I get a heads up? Like, yes, you can hear me? Because I'm going to plug in my phone. So if you guys can hear me good, everybody good? I hope you can still hear me. Weird stuff today, you guys. Okay, I'm getting some thumbs up, so okay, good. So you guys can still hear me. So I'm online, like, everything should be fine on my phone, and my phone is telling me you're offline, which you can't listen to music if you don't have it downloaded to your phone if you're online, right? If you're not online. So totally weird, totally random. This happened a few weeks ago. I think I talked about it on my Patreon channel because it's the same song. Okay, so the song is U2. The name of the song is Iris. And it's talking about the star that gives us light. And he's been gone a while, but it's not an illusion. And like, it took 1,000 years. Like, those are the things that are really standing out to me when I'm listening to this morning, is the star that gives us light is not an illusion. What's in my heart is a part of who the cat is going mad, meowing. Hi, kitty. We'll say hi to the cat, because that means whenever I'm doing, like, my dog used to do the same thing. Like, anytime I was doing a healing session or even an online session or a phone session or whatever, when the energy got really big, Wendy, you'll remember this, Leo used to come. He wanted to be right in it because it just feels so good. And I'm going to try to slow down because I'm just now realizing, like, I'm so excited. I'm talking super, super fast. So, anyway, so there's so much going on, you guys, energetically. Like, there's so much happening. And then this message came in, and it's the same message that I've had a few weeks ago from this exact same song, once again, that I have no idea how this song is on my phone, right? And it's talking about, this morning, what stood out to me was the star that gives us light is not an illusion. And what's in my heart is part of who I am. Now, those of you guys that are with me on Patreon, you know that like a year ago, we were talking about integrating our head and our heart so that we could become congruent into one energy, so that we were not only mindset, we were heart set, right? And it wasn't about bypassing mindset. It was about integrating them to become into a whole working unit, to where our heart and our head are working together. And we've been talking about how as we move into 5D, we've got to start moving from that energy, right? We've got to start doing things in our life from that energy. And I know I've talked to, again, I don't remember where I've said this, but I know that either in my group or Patreon or somewhere, we've talked about how being in constant communication with your guides, right? Like, for me, it goes back to being biblical, where it tells us be in constant prayer. Like, if you're continually, constantly in communication with the divine, then you can live your life on that path. And for me, that's what has happened. Like, the last, 5 years or whatever it's been about literally like, okay, now what? And you guys have heard me say this, like, even if it's a to-do list, like if you're doing your to-do list and you're like, you need to, whatever your chores are for the day or whatever you're doing at work, like, it doesn't matter if you even go to a job, like if you're at a job and you know that, say you work at Loaf and Jug, right? You know that you need to stock the cooler, you need to mop the floor, and you need to rearrange a shelf, like whatever that is. Those are the things on your shift that you have to do. If you will tune in with your guides and say, okay, what first, right? And then what next? If you'll do it in that order that they divinely help you go, it will go 10 times easier, 10 times smoother, and it'll be faster. Like it literally, legit, just everything works out. And I say this, you guys, even with the business. Okay, so business stuff. So those of us that are self-employed, if you have a big to-do list and you're like, okay, I need to write a blog, I need to do my email, I need to work on social media, and I need to do the dishes at my house, and I need to do laundry, like I did laundry this morning, like whatever those things are on your to-do list, if you'll get in divine alignment and ask your guides, literally, you guys, I'm like, okay, now what? Like, what am I doing next? These are the things I need to accomplish. What should I do first? And when I am in divine alignment with that, everything for my day goes so much smoother. Okay, so it's all about being in divine alignment. Now, what's funny is I was trying to listen to my business coach this morning, and I kept getting interrupted. The phone kept stopping. I listened to the YouTube thing, or the U2 on my phone. I keep U2 the band, not YouTube the platform. So U2 started playing on my phone. I was planning on getting in the shower, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to this. It kept, like, everything kept coming up in my way. The song came on, and then I channeled this message. Okay, so I have this written out because, and then I want to talk about it because it's so good, you guys. And it goes with what I posted yesterday in the card reading in the group, which is why I was wanting to get to the group. I'm going to try to look it up on my, oh, you know what? I think it's in my notes. I don't think I've gotten rid of that yesterday. So, okay, so yesterday, our theme of the week was saying that we were being reminded that we're working in unison with and co-creating with the universe. And when we do that, resources and experience come back to us. And what was interesting yesterday is not only in the reading in the morning, because I get up in the morning, on Tuesdays, I always do the cards, right? So when I sat down to do that, I was like, okay, so give me the message, the theme, and it was all about how people are creating right now or working with law of attraction because everything feels so uncertain. Okay, same thing, you guys. We just talked about this the other day in one of my groups. We were talking about the old toy, and this is like an old Tupperware, like what popped in my head was the old Tupperware toy, like where it's a ball, but then there's shapes that you stick in there. And like when you pull it apart, then all the little pieces fall out, right? So that you can then do the shapes again. And it was like literally things feel so unstable right now that the earth the other day felt like it was pulling apart like that. Like there was space in between where the earth itself didn't even feel solid. Like that was what we were talking about in the group of how it just feels unstable, right? So how can we be okay in the instability? How can we be okay when we don't know what's going to happen out there, right? My guides were saying yesterday when I did the card reading that it's all about getting back to realizing that we are divine, our essence is divine, and that it's about being intentional with law of attraction. Okay, like literally, you guys, the card said that, and I think I had 2 or 3 other readings that said the exact same thing. So there's something to this because my guides keep bringing it back, right? So then I'm this morning going through all this, and I'm like, okay, so I listened to the U2 song because I'm like, okay, obviously there's something. I channel the message, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get a couple things done, and then I'm going to come back and do this. And so I'm going to just read the message. And then what I want you guys to do is if you have questions about it, let me know because I really want to help you move through this because the energy, you guys, is so bizarre right now. And I love this message because this is how it came through. So, the message is love and light are not just woo-woo words. And what was so interesting is like when I was sitting with my guides, it was like this, like ethereal feeling, and I couldn't quite get the words, but I was like, okay, what word can I use with this? And they gave me flimsy, and then I shit you not, I probably shouldn't say that word, so I apologize for the S word slipping out. But then when I finally was over doing laundry and finally got to listen to Jessica Riverson, who's one of the coaches that I work with, she said flimsy. So then I was like, oh my God, I had to tag a couple people in a post, because there's a couple ladies in here that every once in a while they'll be like, oh my God, I just listened to your Patreon and I got the exact same word, and they'll like send me where they've channeled it and written it down or whatever, and it's the same like some random word, right? Like that's not a word I normally would use. So it was so bizarre because that's the word that I got. So love and light are not, I'm telling you guys, it's so, like, I'm so excited when things align like this, because it just feels so good. And you know you're on the right track, and you know you're getting the right message. You know you're in divine alignment with the universe, because everything is it all just lines up, right? So it's like confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. Okay, so here's the message from today. And I apologize. I'm trying to slow down, but I'm literally so excited that I just can't. So hopefully you can still catch everything I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to slow down though for this. So this is the message from my guides this morning. Now, those of you guys that have heard me before, you may know that I call them the Celestials, because it's a group of different, there's different beings there. So like some of them feel really galactic. Jesus is always there. He's one of my main guides. He always has been since I was a kid. There's angels that are in the group. And usually Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene are both around. And then, so it's like this collective group of like, and the number even changes. Like sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 13, sometimes there's 15, sometimes there's 9. Like it's usually, but they're all within this group that I talk to. And so this felt more like on the galactic level than normal, like if I was having a chat with Jesus and the angels, like, so it's a little bit more of a upper like woo-woo feeling message. So it says, love and light are not just flimsy woo-woo words. They are the true essence of your divine being. So they're saying that our true essence is love and light. That's our true vibrational essence and divine platform. Like, I want to hear, I'm like, blueprint is the word. So like, this is your divine essence is love and light. Okay. I'm going to just read it and then I'll come back and explain, because I feel like I'm going to get off track. Love and light are not just flimsy woo-woo words. They are the true essence of your divine being. We've been talking to you through Jennifer for a while now, and we explained that as you move into 5D energy, you will need to focus within your heart. You cannot bypass mindset, but instead you must integrate your heart and mind to one congruent energy. Many of you will feel uncomfortable as we move into the unknown. Do not fear. We understand that you have never experienced this before. You do not have any history to feel into or past lives to draw from, because this has not happened in the past. Instead, you must feel into the future with your heart, trusting the process and knowing that the changes are necessary. Remember, there is no fear in love. Do not be afraid. Although you do not know what this new earth will be like, trust that all is well in divine truth. You guys, I get chills. So trust that all is well in divine truth. They've told us that before. It is okay to feel uncomfortable, but when you do, help yourself move back into divine love. Where there is love, there is no fear. This will be a new experience for everyone. And then I kid you not, they said transmission complete. Like normally my guides are like, and so it is, and so be it, and divine love or whatever. And this was like transmission complete. Boop, it was done. So I'm like, you guys, this is everything that I've been getting this, and I've been feeling it, and I've been bringing the messages through to you guys. But this was so like, to me, it was like mind blowing, because they're saying the reason that so many of us are feeling like uncertain about what's going on is because we've never experienced, like literally we've never experienced it. So, and I know that, like we know that in our mind, like we keep saying this, I hate the word unprecedented, but like I know they're using it in the media, but literally what's happening on the planet with the ascension, with the awakening, with people awakening to the divine truth of our spiritual essence, being part of the blueprint of who we are and what we're meant to be in this experience on the planet, it's never been done before. This is not a thing that's been done before. So we can't, like, we don't even have past life experiences to understand what we're moving through, which is why things feel so weird. Okay, so somebody's saying, yes, flimsy, me too. And then I've never felt anything like this. You guys, I'm telling you, it's so, like, that's why it's so uncomfortable, because we don't have anything to draw from, past life experience or otherwise. Like, they legit said this has not happened before. And we kind of know that, like, those of us that are in the spiritual arena, like, we've been talking about that forever, that, like, we've never experienced this. This is a new level of awakening. It's a new level of vibration, a new level of energy. Like, we talk about that, right? But what does that mean? So can you get comfortable in the unknown? Can you still be okay in the unknown? And so one of the other things that they've been talking about, and I know I think I talked about this on the September, like, overview message, about how we have to be working with our body to process this energy. And it's okay if you feel like weird, because it might feel expanded, or like I said, that the ball thing, right? Like, it might be that the toy shaped ball thing, like, you feel like you're kind of being pulled in all these different directions, and you're not sure how it feels. Or maybe you're feeling like, I can't get grounded. Well, it very well could be, because the energy right now on the planet sometimes feels expansive. It doesn't feel solid, right? So when something doesn't feel solid, we're not used to that. We haven't experienced it before. So all of this stuff, you guys, is just the same. And I know it sounds like this part of it is like a repeating, like, broken record, right? Like, trust in divine truth. It's all okay. Like, I know who you are in divine truth. Like, I've been saying that for a while now, because it's like, I know that the truth is that we are spiritual beings first, and that our true essence has this divine star energy to it, right? So going back to the song, it's like this star energy. It's like this really amazing, beautiful, brilliant, divine light. Okay. And then even going back to, like, the 1,000 years, like, it took 1,000 years to get here. That feels relevant to me right now. Like, to me, that feels like they're saying this has taken some time for the collective to get to this place, so that we can evolve, so that we can awaken, so that we can move into this new spiritual energy. And so Jim and I were talking about it this morning, and I said, it seems like 5D and 3D. Like, they're like, what is that? And it seems so weird. And, like, is it a new earth? Because they say the new earth, right? I think they said that in here. Yeah, the new earth. And what's interesting is it's not, like, I know some people in the spiritual arena are almost like the earth is going to change, there's going to be two. I don't see that. Like, what I'm saying is it's literally a perception of how you process energy, because everything around us is energy. Okay. Emotions, everything is energy. And so we're feeling it, right? We're feeling all of this stuff. So when Jim and I were talking about it this morning, I said, it's almost like when I look at it, my guides are saying, like, some people are going to stay in 3D. They don't want to change. They don't want to move. They don't want to experience this unknown, right? Like, they don't want it. They're just not going to change. It's not going to, no how, no way, nothing. Like, they just don't want it. So they're going to be staying in 3D, which is where the struggle and the hardship and the old ways of doing things and the old structures and whatever, right? But my guides have been saying since January that the structures are, like, literally, I didn't even know in January what they meant, but of course now I know what they meant. Structures were going to crumble. Like, we started talking about that actually on Patreon, like, in September of last year. So a year ago. And then in January, they were like, you know, structures are going to crumble. Things will be rebuilt. It needs to happen because we need to elevate the way we are in community, right? So government, schools, healthcare, like, everything needs to be revamped to be able to be sustainable in 5D energy. Now, 5D energy is just like an awakening, you guys. It's a different shift in energy. So when Jem and I were talking about it this morning, I'm like, it's really simple. It's like, people are going to be like, I've always felt energy around me. I've always been able to feel people's emotions. I can usually, like, pick up on things. I've always seen spirit. Like, I've always seen little weird things all around. You know what I mean? Like, I've always seen different beings, even though most people in 3D reality don't see them. But what's happening is so many people are awakening in a different way, and that means that they are feeling all of this spiritual energy, even though they may have never felt it before. So people are starting to feel what intuitives, right, or psychics or whatever have felt all along. And it's a whole different way. Like, you have to process energy differently in your body. You have to get in tune with yourself first so that you know, is this even my energy? Like, am I freaking out because it's like, is it even me, or is something outside of me energetically affecting me? So for example, I always use Walmart because God love that store, right? If you're in a great mood and then you go into Walmart and you come out just pissy, chances are you picked up energy in there, right? Somebody in there was cranky, you felt it, and it either, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of, you feel it. And so then your energy is kind of like, ugh, because you feel it. It's like that, only on like a bazillion different level, right? So it's like, how can you be okay with awakening? Okay. How can you not be afraid of it? Because there's nothing, the one thing that I can tell you guys is there's nothing to be afraid of. Okay. It's just a different kind of energy. And, you're like, I feel like the biggest thing is like, physically our bodies are responding in ways that we don't understand because, again, we haven't been in this energy. So I know somebody in the Facebook group the other day was like, it's so weird because like the ground felt wobbly, even though I know the ground's not wobbly. And I'm like, that was a great way to say it. Like, I don't even remember if that was the exact words that she used, but like, she was like, yeah, the ground felt like it was moving under me, and I know the ground wasn't moving under me, and I don't have any medical stuff. Like, I wasn't feeling dizzy or anything like that. Like, it literally felt like the ground was moving. Totally makes sense. I felt that way before. I've been in places where it's not even close to an earthquake, but I felt the earthquake even though I was like where I shouldn't have felt it, right? So because it's a different way of tuning into the energetics of everything on the planet. So it's so big, you guys. But basically, does anybody have questions right now? Because I feel like this is just like, what? I'm just saying all of this big message. But I really want you to sink into the idea of, okay, first of all, going back to yesterday, we can still create just like we would in any other time. Like, it's still, we still need to be in that momentum of creating a life we love. Okay. Going back to like my first book, like, create a life you love. Like, this is still valid. Like, you've got to know, what do you want in your life? What do you want to experience? What are the emotions that brings? Right? So it's getting in divine alignment with what you want to experience in life. And again, you guys, like, when you want it, when you know what you want to experience, it's almost more about the emotional side of it than it is like the physical reality of it, right? So like, what is it that you want to experience in your life? You can create that, but you've got to be in that space of being open to change, being in that place where you have total faith that everything's going to work out, even if it looks like everything is going to shit, because we all know, there's that word again, sorry. Even though we know that things are crazy in the, like, what's happening in the United States, what's happening in Australia, like the fires everywhere. I mean, it's just madness, right? But like, we have to still be okay. And it comes down to faith, you guys. You've got to just be in that space where you have faith and you know in your heart that everything's going to be okay, regardless of how it happens, right? But don't stop intentionally. So what my guys are saying right now, because they're coming in again, is don't stop intentionally creating just because you don't know what's going to happen, because that's going to be a total like flatline in momentum if you're not intentionally still living life. Like, it would be really, really easy to just like step back and be like, you know what, I'm not going to do anything until this passes. Totally, you can do that. You totally can. But why would you, if you know that you can still, create joy every day? Like, it's really about being okay every day and enjoying your life every day, regardless of all the crazy around you. Okay. So I would love to know if you guys have questions. If you're in the Embodied Grace community, that's a private group. So that's a safe place to ask questions if you have questions, because I don't know if the people that are watching, I don't know if they're on my group or if they're on my page, because I think I went live on my page, but it's okay. Anyway, any questions about it, let me know. Go back to the reading from yesterday and listen to the one from September. I'm pretty sure I made that one like a YouTube that's available to everybody instead of just Patreon, because because it just felt that big. Okay. The other thing that I actually just heard is like, if you're awakening, okay, so you guys know these guides have been working with me for a really long time. And so if you're going through the awakening process and it feels really uncertain to you, Patreon membership is one of the cheapest ways to be able to get these messages and go through them. And so even if you're already on my Patreon, or if you want to join my Patreon, I have it really low price, you guys, because people just need these messages, okay? But when you listen to them, here's the key. Every time you listen to either one of the channeled messages or the meditations or the card readings or energy updates, like whatever it is, and it doesn't matter the timing, you guys, because it's always divine timing, right? So even if you hear it like now, or even if you're looking at one of my free like YouTubes or Facebook, like it doesn't matter what it is. Whenever you listen to any of those messages back, ask yourself, like sit with it and say, okay, if I'm feeling led to watch this video, listen to this download, whatever it is, and then ask yourself, how do I feel when I listen to this? Like how is my body responding? What does this mean to me? Is there a message in this? Is this something I just need to let go of? Is there something I need to learn from it? Right? So anytime we have that, it's so funny because it's never about you, but it's always about you, because it's about everything that's happening, but it's always about how you interpret it and how you process it and how you feel about it. Right? So again, you guys, I just want to leave you with that. Know that you can listen back to any of those messages that my guides have given me and downloaded. The channeled messages are like where the gold is. I'm not going to lie. Like go to those messages because those are the good ones. And then sit with it and say, okay, I'm going to listen. And when you listen, feel it and feel into it and say, okay, how is my body responding? What is the message that I'm getting? Is there something I need to let go of so that I feel safe moving forward? Is there a belief that's blocking me from feeling safe in divine truth, right? And then how can I work through whatever this is? Okay, now working through it is going to be coming back to the messages of take care of yourself. It doesn't, you may need to sleep, you may need to take a walk, you may need to drink more water. Like it's because we have to also take care of the physical body. So it's all of those things. Really exciting, you guys. I feel like it's actually a really good message, which feels so good after the year that we've had, right? But still, even through it all, the one thing that is still constant is in divine truth, all is well. So just anchor into that. Sending you guys lots of love. Definitely hit me in the Embodied Grace community if you have questions, and we can talk about it there. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.